What's going on, everybody? Welcome to This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I am your host with the most, Brandon the Franchise Buck, alongside my other host, Mr. Bishop. We are here. It is Labor Day. It is September 2nd, 2024. And as always, we appreciate each and every one of you for coming in and joining us, talking to us. Bishop, how was your holiday? How was your holiday weekend?
Well, it's well, man. Today, Labor Day, I typically do nothing. Just relax. It's a bonus day from working. Just chill around the house, man.
I understand it. Of course, we have got to advertise and talk about. You can follow us on the Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at IE Sports Radio. You can find us live right now. Just check us out, IE Sports Radio, and scroll down to see This is KC Sports. Of course, IE Sports Radio available on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you need your podcast needs. You can find us directly at www.iesportsradio.com/This is KC Sports. You can follow our KC Sports Twitter at This is KC Sports _IESR, as well as follow me at Real Franchise, and then follow my man Bishop at X Runners with a Z on the end. Give a big shout out to Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet, as well as Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Now, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we kind of have some stuff to talk about. We kind of don't have some stuff to talk about. It's just another day, at least until after Thursday, when the Chiefs have their very first home game against the Baltimore Ravens. That'll be a lot of fun. That'll be a lot of good stuff. People are excited. People are excited to see the Super Bowl banner come on down right prior before the game. So we will talk about all that good jazz. But we have got to go ahead and take a quick break to start out the show, give thanks and sponsorship to the people that pay our bills and what have you. So this is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
That
This
was
is Case
weird.
Sports right here on iSports Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Man, it doesn't feel like a Monday. It does, but it doesn't. I feel like I should be at the office or I should be coming in late or whatever the case may be. But, what does that mean? What does that mean? So it's going to be a very calm and collected show for us today. First and foremost, big shout out to our man Taryn Rodriguez. Good evening, Bishop and Franchise. Have a great show ready for Thursday. We will be talking about that here shortly, Taryn. But first, let's go into the soccer world, Bishop. Let's go into the soccer world. Let's go ahead and talk about the 12th place Sporting KC men's soccer club. Well, their next match is September 7th against the New York Red Bulls. Last Tuesday, the 27th, they beat Indy 11 2-0. Of course, Johnny Russell, he had his shine with a goal, and then of course Rosero had his shine with the goal as well. 17 shots the entire time for Sporting KC, as well as shots on target. There were 7. Maybe 71% possession for them, as well as 667 passes in a 90-minute game or what have you.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a lot of passing around for such a small scoring game. Low scoring game, but 9 fouls, 1 yellow card, no red cards, 3 offsides, 5 corners. And again, this coming Saturday, they will be taking on the New York Red Bulls. So again, of course, we have to tease because there's already enough salt to the wound as is that our boys are in 12th place. And you have the LA Galaxy that are up in the top for this year of 2024. Not much to say, Bishop, but what do you got to say?
Yeah, they pretty much dominated that past game against the Indy, whatever they are.
Indy 1-1.
Indy 11. Yeah. Yeah, they pretty much dominated it 2-0. It's so weird that the pass accuracy and all that stuff was there, and yet they still only was able to come up with 2 points. That's odd to me. But even more so, like you said, we're in 12th place, and LA Galaxy is in number 1 position. That is so odd, man, because I don't remember last season where LA Galaxy finished, but I don't think they were nowhere up there.
No,
they weren't. I know it was St. Louis that was at the top for majority of the season. So yeah, I don't think that there's still some games left. Not a whole bunch. I don't see them. Yeah, no, not very much. Not very much. Few more games. I don't think the playoffs is in the future. Like I said, last season I remember they had to get into the 8th spot or something to make it. It ain't happening this season.
No.
So,
and being a Kansas City fan of anything, you get used to the heartbreak and what have you.
Yeah.
I saw something, and I really wish I could find it on my Twitter account. Back in the day, when we were known as the Wizards, and I want to say we were taking on the LA Galaxy. Do you remember that one guy with like the dreadlocks that are like maybe to the medium part of his ears? I want to say it was like,
yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Wally?
Yeah. I think I had a chance to meet that guy like some years back, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that guy was just fun to watch. And of course, with this game, I'm pretty certain it was the Wizards versus the Galaxy in a shootout, and the Galaxy won that. A lot of goals that shouldn't have been made, but they were. But whatever. I mean, I was the water boy for a soccer club in elementary school, so what do I know? But what I'm saying, is, back in the day, those games were pretty intense, and you just didn't realize it. And then you see what's going on now. I mean, I play Sporting KC for MLS on the Xbox and what have you. It's fun. But then you think about all the cardio and all the conditioning that they have to do on a daily. I mean, if they slack off even a little bit, I mean, it's just going to affect the game, which is going to lead to a yard fire and affect the entire team, and just kind of breaks down. Um, I want to say maybe every year that they have a new game plan, they have a new mentality, because not everything is going to be like the previous season. We've
Right.
seen that with the Chiefs, we've seen that with the Royals, we've seen that with the Currents, we've seen that with you know whoever.
Hmm.
Um, this was just a bad year, just
Yeah.
a bad year.
Yeah.
And I mean, when the season is done, they'll be doing their thing, and we'll get back to what we got to do on that.
Yeah.
And that's just a can't see anything.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Can't win
Yeah,
them all. Can't win them all.
no, unfortunately you can't. Unfortunately you can't. Let's talk about the women over in City Market. Um, they have been they've been doing okay up until they took on North Carolina, which they lost 2-1. Not a big deal. Then, of course, September 7th, they take on the Utah Royals, which is going to be confusing for next week's show because we can't really say the Royals in case somebody is not aware and get the two teams mixed up, which that's another topic. Jeez
Right.
Louise. The women have kind of dropped down in standings a little bit. Not terrible, but they have. Checking it out right now just to double check my words. Yeah, I mean, they're in third, and then you have the Orlando Pride. That's number one, and I believe they take on the Orlando Pride not this coming Saturday, but the next Saturday. So the next match. What do you think? I mean,
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy how they're starting to, taper off a little bit here. Um, from being like pretty much one of the dominant teams in women's soccer. That North Carolina Courage loss definitely took me by surprise.
yeah,
Um, I get the Orlando Pride, Washington Spirit, two top notch teams. Um, but maybe they're just trying to shake off some stuff. You just got to do wrapping up all that all that cup and all that stuff,
uh-huh.
man, and so they, you know, hopefully trying to get back into the groove of things because they were very dominant in the cup thing, and I think it's not over yet, if I'm not mistaken. But
I don't
uh,
believe.
third place, because I think they still got to play the finals, right?
Well, I mean, I do believe that they did win the World Cup. I think it's Sporting KC that just won the semifinals last weekend.
Okay.
I didn't see anything on the schedule for the next round game or whatever. I think we're waiting for the other.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
no, yeah, no. That the yeah, they don't play until October 25th against Gotham Football Club, the uh Summer Cup.
that's
It'll
right.
be in the Liga. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I know they got that coming up, but and you said we see Orlando Pride again September 13th. That is the next big game right there.
Yes.
And I know they got that game circled. I know they do because Orlando Pride has been somewhat of a thorn in our side here. Because back on July 6th, we lost 2-1, and they just been a pain. So, and they're sitting at number one. So for Casey Current, that's going to be a huge game for them, September 13th. And then they got another huge game the week after, September 20th, Washington Spirit. So they got number one and number two in back to back coming weeks. So that's a hell of a schedule right there.
Yeah, yeah, it
Um,
is.
that's a hell of a schedule. So I know that's the two games. I mean, I know they want to win, try to win every game as possible. So Utah Royals football club, I'm sure they're not gonna, just shoot them off like they're not a good team or a team that's going to compete. But I know their main target is Orlando Pride and Washington Spirit, and I can't wait to see that. how that unfolds.
That'll be good. That'll be a very fun, watchable game. I've said this before, and I'll say this until I'm blue in the face. It is an ultimate goal of mine, at least this season, to attend all of the franchise games. I would love to go see a KC Current game and see my buddy Richard, aka the Teal Guy, do his thing as the super fan for the franchise. I would, no pun intended. I would love to see Sporting KC. Check them out over in the Legends location is where they're at. I would love to see how Kansas City Royals do up in the postseason, and then of course I would love to see Patrick Mahomes do his thing in Kansas City. I got to see Alex Smith. I have not seen Patrick. It's a shame that, but it is what it is. But that is my list of goals, and whether or not they happen or not this year, that's another story to be continued. But like I told you, there's that time at when I was on patrol, and I decided to get off of 435 and go into the city and whatnot. And little did I know I was on the other side of city markets, because things have changed within the 18 years that I had been gone. And sure enough, when I took that left turn, there was the KC Current Stadium right in front of me. And whatnot, and I was able to get into it on top of a hill and whatnot, just kind of look in my rearview mirror. I mean, those seats, dude, I don't know if you've seen it in person, but I mean, those seats in that field, it just mixes so well with the red and the teal and the white and the black. And you see the suites where Patrick and Brittany usually are, or close to it. And I mean, it's just a well-rounded built stadium. And then, of course, back in July, when I realized where Sporting KC's stadium was, that's a really well-built stadium too. When I was going down the escalator for Dave Buster's, you just see it right there. It's just like, so just two really good locations. I hate the fact that KC Current Stadium is right in Clay County, but I mean, I'm also bougie. So I like things kind of close. Yeah. Arrowhead, Kaufman. Need I say less, or need I say more? I mean, if you've been to a game, whether it was during the George Brett era or the 2013 year, or 15 year, or even at Arrowhead for any years, it's a magical place. It's definitely a sports fan's Disney World. It's just it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And of course, the hospitality you get from other fans. Not all fans are jerks. So when you mesh well with the opposing team, kind of like what you did in college, and you can kind of like bust each other's chops a little bit, but then also you're drinking your beverage and you're having a hot dog or a burger or whatever the case may be, and just like, hey, good game, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So the mature fans know it's not the end of the world. I mean, am I happy that we lost to the Bengals? Am I happy that we lost to the Raiders? No. Right. But kind of like our man Larry B. Am I going to bust his chops and absolutely hate his guts because he's wearing black and silver? No, absolutely not. So, that's just life of any type of sports fan here. Let's see, 5:25. I think this is a good time to take a quick short break, so then I can water my chops a little bit and get ready for the next segment, where we're going to be talking about the boys in Kansas City, that being the Kansas City Royals and the Kansas City Chiefs and all that good jazz and whatnot. We're going to take a little break right here, and we will be right back. This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernick, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, New York? This is Ricky K coming at you with the NY State of Sports, a new show here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Listen to me every Thursday afternoon as we bring you the latest takes on the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Plus, you get some college hoops and what's the local sports events going on in the area. It's a state that never sleeps, so why not get the opinions and sports takes that never sleep? Again, every Thursday, 2 p.m. to the NY State of Sports. We'll see you then.
Everybody, this is Darren Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunderous Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I am myself, Brandon the Franchise Buck, alongside my man Bishop. Thank you so much for all of you who are following us, who are watching us live on YouTube. With that being said, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at IE Sports Radio. Of course, as I said, you can follow us and listen to us live, watch us live on YouTube. Just look up IE Sports Radio and then scroll down and find This is KC Sports, as well as IE Sports Radio is available on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google, all the good stuff where you find your podcast and all its needs. Go directly to iesportsradio.com/This is KC Sports. You can find us on the Twitter at ThisIsKC_IESR. You can find myself at Real Franchise. Then, of course, you can find my man Bishop at XRunners with a Z. Give a big thanks to Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet, as well as Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Woo, boy. Well, I don't know about you, but during that commercial break, I got a notification on my ESPN telling me that the Royals lost with Salvi being last at bat, 4-2 against the Guardians today. Not exactly what we needed. In fact, the last couple of games since after, God, boy, you know what? Let's just look at the notes here because it's right in front of me, and here I am trying to be smart. And we all know after plenty of these shows, I'm not. Um, so, I mean, after the Royals being powerful against Cleveland last week, winning a doubleheader, 4-3 and 9-4 last Monday, that was pretty cool. And on Tuesday, 6-1, they lost Wednesday last week, 7-5. They take a day break and then they take on the crazy Astros that just absolutely wiped the floor with us. 6-3, 3-2, 5-2, and 7-2. And here we are trying to look for a break, in the season and trying to win some games. We are officially third in the division in the ALC, underneath the Twins. As we took on the Guardians, we lost 4-2, but we're taking them on tomorrow and Wednesday at 6:40. Where do the boys go from here? Because now it just seems like if we're trying to achieve number one status, we can't do anything but win, win, win. No close games, no nothing. We need to seal the deal to really make a difference going into October.
Yeah. First off, shout out to our producer, Jen B.
Big shout out.
She is a huge Cleveland Guardian fan, I would imagine. And she is sitting there laughing at me with a big grin on her face. So yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that Michael Walker was gonna be on the damn mound today.
Neither did I.
He only managed to, in 9 innings, come up with 3 strikeouts. He allowed 5 hits, 2 earned runs, and then Bubic was up next. 2 hits, 2 earned runs. That's definitely not going to win a game. No strikeouts for Bubic. I don't know, man. Tommy Pham didn't four at bats. He didn't manage to get a hit at all. Bobby Witt had a bunt ball. He didn't really get a hit for real. It was damn near a no hitter, man. It was pretty damn close to a no hitter.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Gurriel, who we just pretty much got from, I believe, from the Astros, and Garcia, I think them the only 2 that really got hits outside of, like I said, Bobby Wood's little bunt or whatever. Yeah, it was pretty damn close to a no-hitter. Cleveland, that's what I'm saying, man, with these baseball teams. Like, now we're about to get – it's September. The hunt for October is on. It's about to get pretty gritty, man. We're, like I said, we're in 3rd place in the division. I don't care if we win the division or not. I don't care if we're number 1. Just make it to the playoffs. That's it. Because
100%.
Kansas City teams, as we all know, if you give them if you just leave the door cracked just a little bit and you allow us a wild card spot, a playoff, whatever, we can make a pretty deep run. If not, end up winning the whole damn thing. So that's all I ask for. Just get up in there in the playoffs some type of way. We got 2 more games against Cleveland. And here we are. It's kind of like if you think about it, it's pretty much the Casey Curran situation. The 3rd place, they got, games against Orlando Pride, who's in 1st place. Then they got to deal with Washington Spirit, who's in 2nd. Well, we got to deal with goddamn Cleveland. And then after this series, we got a 3-game series against the damn Twins. So it's pretty – this is pretty much Skid Row right here. This is death row. We gotta go through this. We got to go through this, man, and just pretty much hope for the best because we're looking at the top 2 teams right now.
Yep. And I know. I want to say it's going to be next Monday is when we start our battles with the Yankees and what have you. So I mean, it's just going to get worse from here, and that's expected. It's kind of like in college. It's not the same, but in college, you take KU used to take on Pittsburgh State University every year at the beginning of the quote unquote preseason, if you will, before the actual NCAA games. And they would annihilate us. Of course, then again, Pitt State would be coming up to Lawrence and dealing with the fog. And, you would see some of our players, some of our best players taking on, KU. And you just knew that they were just absolutely going to get annihilated, but it was just special to watch. But they do that because of confidence building.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you can't really do that in baseball. You just have to find your vibe and go with it and whatnot. Yeah. And for a good while, the boys reminded us of what 2014 was all about, 2015. And, it's a great feeling. I think sometimes this might be Kansas City Anything fan, because that's really all I follow. I'm sure at other fan bases they feel the exact same way, but you get onto this trend of winning and winning and winning and winning. We have by far we have the best Major League Baseball player in the league in Bobby Witt Jr. We have a legend catcher in himself in Salvador Perez. The list goes on. There's obviously something that they have been doing this season that has been almost nostalgic to our build-up to losing against Houston, but then coming back and beating the Mets for the World Series and what have you. They know what they're doing. I don't know if it's just a build-up with injuries to just not being in the right mindset, maybe getting too stagnant because they were on this streak. And then now they're really paying for it. They're definitely paying for it because they went from number 2, so close to being number 1, to now we've dropped down to number 3. We have to win like 5 games or something comparable to everybody else losing. That's in baseball terms, that's a lot. That's a lot. So it's going to be a lot of hard work for them. It's going to be something that I really hope in some form or manner the universe shifts and works out for the Royals. I really honestly do, because I would love to see them in postseason.
I mean, yeah. And I think that's what Kansas City, and I can only speak for and probably anyone else, but Kansas City, because that's where I'm at, and that's what we do, and that's what we've witnessed. Is that's the magic right there. That's what gives it the magic, is when you scratching and clawing to try to stay in it and get back up to it. So them, getting knocked down to third, I actually like it, man. I guess you could say it's kind of one of them bittersweet things, because we get to see them fight their way back up towards the number 1 spot, and like I said, number 2 is good, like I said, just make the playoffs. That's it. Because I want to see what's going to happen in the playoffs, But yeah, like I said, that's where that KC magic for our sports teams is. Same way, like I said, 2014, 2015, we lost. You know what I'm saying? We were whooping butt, and then we lost to the Giants in 2014. Then we came right back in 2015, and it was magical, man. And that's what makes our teams. That's what makes sports fun for me here in Kansas City. Anyway, I can
absolutely.
So
absolutely, I don't think any one of us ever thought. Big shout out to Ralph. Oh goodness.
Oh, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, there's vengeance on the table. On both sides. A lot of news coming out with Kansas City. Just to end that segment right quick here with the Royals. I would like to believe everything happens for a reason in this decade of Kansas City sports. We knew Patrick Mahomes was special. We didn't know he was going to be this special. Salvador Perez, he's the last remaining player from the 2014-2015 saga of the Royals. Everybody else has either retired or gone off to a different team or what have you. The fact that he's pulling captain, he's pulling leader, he's pulling the Mahomes, if you will, of the team, shows that he's probably going to be passing the torch sooner than later to Bobby Witt Jr. When you have exceptional players like that on a team, we've heard the term rebuilding year and this and that. This wasn't a rebuilding year. This was we need to make our name known year. And I fully believe the last 3 years we've done that. When it comes right down to it, you're absolutely right. When you see things that are just absolutely magical, they just happen, and it's just a crazy situation. It's just kind of like, how in the blue hell did we get to this point? And here we are. And tell me we were going to the Super Bowl and beating the 49ers. Tell me we were going to the Super Bowl and beating the Eagles. Tell me we were going to the Super Bowl again to beat the 49ers. I mean, these are just things you just don't hear about. These were things that you didn't expect. Like, I had no way of expecting the Royals to even make it to the World Series. Granted, we lost to the Giants, San Francisco Giants, but I mean, then we came back. I thought it was a one and done deal. Then we came back and we beat New York. I really wish it was at Kauffman, but that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Right.
So I mean, that's just my thoughts on that. There's still a chance. It's September. It's September 2. So, that's that. So we before we go on to the next topic, we got a question from Mr. Ralph here. He's like, sorry for going off topic, but was that your ring gear at one point that you posted on the Twitter last week? Yes, it was. I believe, it was you that asked me if I was getting back into the ring, and I told you that we're either going to try or we're going to die. And at 40 years old, already walking around like Hulk Hogan. I mean, it's funny
Go
too.
for it. Go for it.
Well, I mean, it's funny too because, the nice person that got us our gimmicks with the Arrowhead logo on the bottom, she had mentioned to me one time. She was like, "You're walking a little bit stiff." I'm like, "Just another day." And she had, she didn't realize or whatnot, like just how physical professional wrestling is before I showed her some YouTube videos. And she was like, "Oh my God, like, why do you do this to yourself?" I'm like, "Because I'm expletives insane." Because I'm an idiot.
Right.
It's kind of like, what was it, last year when we were discussing, you and Larry B discussing me going to the qualifying game with the Chiefs and the Dolphins, and that was the coldest game ever.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember if I talked about this or not. I'm pretty certain I did, but I got locked out of my house because of how cold it was and how the air was blowing against my door and whatnot. I was in my truck trying to heat myself up, and I couldn't and whatnot. I was out there for 5 hours.
Oh, hell no, man.
And like, my phone had died because I was trying to talk to OnStar and let them know, like, hey, I know this isn't your deal, but I need help. Long story short, I finally got in at like 5:45 in the morning, and I ended up getting like the flu. And work expected me to be there at 10. I was like, no, I can't even feel my legs, let alone function at a gym. So no, not going in. Bye.
Right.
But
right.
No, what Ralph was asking was last week I had posted on at Real Franchise on my Twitter. I had posted ring gear of my shoes and my trunks, and I don't think I was showing my shirt or anything, but it was basically symbolism that we're working to a goal, but the gear is still there. The gear is still there, so we will. We will figure all that good stuff out. I don't know how it's going to happen, but if there's a will, there's a way. Um, so, with that being said, let's talk about the old Golden Boys. I guess you could say today is Red Friday for us because Thursday is game.
I think they're gonna do like a Red Wednesday or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
something crazy.
I was really disappointed because I pre-ordered some Red Friday Super Bowl flags, and I got two, one for me and one for my mom, and the other one got lost in the mail.
Gosh,
they said it was delivered, and it wasn't. So
it wasn't. Oof.
Gonna have to eBay that or something because mom
Chiefs,
definitely
get another one out here.
Yep. Mom needs to catch up with me with my stuff. So
yeah,
all that.
How about let's break real quick.
Yes.
Then we'll come back and talk some Chiefs. May just sprinkle in a little college. It's the college is back now, so
absolutely. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah.
But there's so much stuff going on in Kansas City that you kind of forget.
Right.
All right. That is a good plan, my man. This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We will be right back.
What's up, Pittsburgh? This is Ralph Delis, the host of the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Are you that passionate diehard Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, or just a Pittsburgh sports fan? Then please join me on the Injury Report every Tuesday on IE Sports Radio, the direct feed for all that is sports. And I will update you on all that's black and gold. Have you telling your Pittsburgh fans and friends what's up with Pittsburgh sports. Tune in Tuesday with me, Ralph Delis, the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go!
Hey, Cleveland and Columbus sports fans. This is Jen D, host of the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in live to the Show of the Land on Tuesdays, where we will cover the Cleveland Browns, Cavs, Guardians, and Monsters. We will also talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets, Crew, Fury, and of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll also cover other colleges in the area like Akron, Kent State, Cleveland State, Mount Union, John Carroll, Baldwin Wallace, Youngstown State, among others. So like I said, if you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in Tuesdays to the Show of the Land with Jen D on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. Thank you all so much that are watching us live on YouTube. Thank you for everybody who has spoken to us during the break and what have you. I know that, if you scroll back and check out my media, you'll be able to see this on my Twitter. But this, if I can hold this up correctly, this is what Ralph was talking about. That is my old wrestling gear. And granted, the shoes were tapered off with some. Basically, it's kick pad sleeves. It just made them look a little bit more classier with my legs and what have you. But that is what I was talking about. Once upon a time in a faraway land, I was a part of the professional wrestling business. It's been quite a minute since I've taken a chair shot to the head. Most people think I do that on a daily just because of how I function in life. So I can't really disagree with them. But yeah, check that on out. Big shout out to Ralph for pointing that on out. I love talking about that stuff. I'm probably on the wrong show talking about it, but that's okay. With what time we have left, let's go ahead and talk about the boys. So there's been some stuff going on. Let's go ahead and take that out right now. CEH, Clyde's Edwards Hilaire, Fresh Prince of El Air, will not be playing. In fact, he won't be playing for 4 days due to a non-football related illness. Doing a little bit more research. It has everything to do with his PTSD from his college days when him and another player, friend or what have you, were trying to buy an electronic device, and there was gunfire involved. Somebody got shot. And obviously, when you deal with something up close and personal like that, traumatic, it will cause some issues, especially if it's not dealt with almost immediately. And anybody who has been through therapy and this and that knows that it's not an overnight thing. It's going to be a slow burn, if you will. And honestly, and the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs aren't obligated to pay him because he is on a non-related football illness, it's been reported that they are paying him and whatnot. They're still going to pay him despite the fact that he's sitting down right now. So big shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs franchise, and big shout out to CEH and anybody who coincidentally, and not to make light of this by any means. In fact, we're not going to make light of this, but the fact of the matter is, for those who are unaware, September is Mental Health Awareness Month. Whether it be depression, anxiety, PTSD, whatever the case may be, there are outlets out there for people to get help. 988 is a nice substitute from the 778 or 788, I believe it was originally, at least in Kansas City. You can either text them, you can call them. If it gets too deep, they will send out people. They'll send out people to make sure that you're okay. Mm-hmm. And then they will make a judgment call if you are okay or not. And whatever the case may be, whether this was something that was brought to the attention of the coaching staff, or if Clyde went to somebody personally, higher up outside of a player and told them that he was having some issues, or whatever the case may be, you got to give it up to him. You got to give it up to Clyde. Because admitting to the fact that you are suffering internally, despite the fact if anybody can see it or not, is a huge deal.
It's a huge, yep.
And especially being, I hate using this stagnant deal, but even being a man in today's society, I know people say like men are supposed to be strong. F that. I know Taryn's not by the censor machine, so I'm just going to censor my own words, but screw that. No. If you're hurting, or if something's coming up from your past and you just need somebody to talk to or whatever, go ahead and reach out, because you're going to be 10 times stronger reaching out than you will be suffering alone. And that's just all I got to say about that. So we here at This is KC Sports wish all the best for Clyde and the rest of the organization. When it comes to Thursday's game, which starts at 7:20, it's probably going to start earlier because they're probably going to show the lowering of the Super Bowl banner. People are already doing their theory that Taylor's going to be there. Whether she is or isn't, that's regardless. Carson Steele is going to be running fullback as well as Samaj Perrin will be the running back with Isaiah Pacheco. And then, of course, you have Derrick Henry, who is more than motivated to come into Kansas City after how Baltimore lost last season, and it's going to be a very interesting game. What do you think?
100% agree. It's going to be very interesting. A new scenery for, like you said, Derrick Henry up there with the Ravens. Basically a fresh start. Got a lot to prove. So he's a horse, man. So he's definitely gonna try to prove that, hey, Baltimore made the right choice in bringing me in. But like you said, Samaje Perine, Carson Steele, Pacheco, I think we have more than enough to respond in the running game. Who was that? Roquan Smith or whoever did
Yes.
us little conference, man, and chose some very interesting words. I'm not hats off to the guy for being professional about the whole thing, but he said pretty much stop the run game and make the Chiefs one-dimensional is how you beat them, or slow them down, rather. And I was thinking, I'm like, did he mean that? Because that almost sounded like the formula to stop the Ravens.
Yeah.
Stop the run game. So I'm like, I mean, if you guys want to focus on the Chiefs' run game versus the pass, shit, hats off. Be my guest. I welcome that any day. Like, I mean, Mahomes is itching to test out these weapons. So you go ahead and stop the run game all you want to. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. Hopefully no injuries. No injuries. Let's get a good, clean, fair game here. I don't want to hear no refs this, refs that, and all that BS, man. You're gonna win, you're gonna lose, or someone has to win, someone has to lose. And let's just have a good game, man. The NFL's back. We're kicking it off, kicking the season off. Let's make it official. So
yeah, absolutely. And I think with that being said, we're going to go ahead and cut ties right here. It is God Almighty. It's about time for our brand new show with Motor City Grit with Chicken Nugget King coming up at the top of the hour. So big shout out to him. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the team. It's going to be a fun ride. There's about 1 billion of us that do this show and what have you. So, I mean, don't be frustrated if you can't learn everybody's names in one day. It's totally fine. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we want to say thank you so much. You can find us, of course, on the Twitter at @thisisKC_IESR. Find me at Real Franchise and find Bishop at XRunners with the Z on the end. Folks, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. But now it's time for us to call it a day. It's time to get that new show underway with the Chicken Nugget King coming up at the top of the hour.
Chicken Nugget King.
I love it.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it.
Absolutely. Folks, Kansas City for Bishop. This is the greatest of all time. The best in the world, but more importantly, beyond the world. Brandon, the franchise buck. And I bid you adieu and good night.
Peace.